down in the beautiful Lough. As you can see, the water is absolutely flat calm and it's raining. No better conditions to swim in. So today I want to go through some little bits and pieces that you can do to desensitize yourself in the water before you actually start your swimming, and some little tips that you can use to get you used to the water before you start and to help you allay some of the fear you have getting into the water for the first time. If you consider that in 2015 I could not swim, I couldn't put my face in the water, I couldn't swim from point A to point B without getting seriously out of breath. So I have come from being in a situation where I couldn't swim on my own. I was afraid to come around and experience this amazing swimming location in West Cork on my own, or even with somebody alongside me. And once I learned to swim, once I learned to desensitize myself in the water, it just opened up everything for me. So here's a couple of tips that I want to show you that you can utilize when you're getting in the water for the first time. One of my big fears was that sensation I got when I got into the water and I felt the cold. So when you start, a lot of people, especially in triathlon, you're starting on dry land, you're getting into the water straight away. And one of the tips I got was to have a bottle of cold water with me, to pour it down the back of my suit. So if you come in here, pour it down the back of your suit, get that cold sensation out of the way, wet your face and wet your neck. So what's going to be your hands and your feet getting into the water, you'll feel the cold, but that sensation on your neck and your face is what really catches you when you're getting into the water for the first time. So goggles on, and the first thing you're going to do, make sure you have a good seal, sit down in the water where possible. So when you're learning to swim, when you're experiencing the open water for the first time, get into the water, let it come through the zip on your wetsuit, so you're going to feel it through here. Sit down in the water and just float. Once you've felt the cold water going down your back, just give yourself a chance to just experience that sensation. Give yourself a chance to relax in it. You know the way we're inclined to hold when we're cold? Try to just relax and let that go. Now the other thing you're going to do, I'm going to put the goggles back on, is splash your face. So we've let it go down the backs of our suits. Now you're going to splash your face. Put it on top of your head. And just experience that water coming down over your face. Once you've done that, the next thing to do is to just sit down in the water. And I want to illustrate something to you. When you're in the water in a wetsuit, you are so buoyant. So we can all swim. If you're getting in the water, you should be able to swim to some degree. But it's really good to know that you're relatively safe in your suit, because as much as you're going to try to go down under the water, the neoprene is going to bring you back up. And I'm going to illustrate that to you. I'm going to dive down here and try to work at staying under the water, and you'll see this for yourselves. It's really difficult to duck dive in this suit because it's designed to keep you on the surface of the water. So I'm going to take my goggles off so I can see what I'm looking at here. But if you sit back in the water with a wetsuit on, you'll see very quickly that it's so easy to float. And even if you want to swim like this, doing breaststroke, because there's so much neoprene to keep you floating in the water, it's really difficult to move your hips in that movement. So it's so hard to sink when you're in a wetsuit. And something that somebody told me once was that if you need to stop when you're swimming, just getting my balance back there, if you need to stop when you're swimming, if you're swimming in the open water and if at any stage you feel fatigued, you need to take a rest, all you need to do is stop swimming. I'm not moving my hands, I'm not moving my feet. So my advice would be, if you have the opportunity to relax in the open water, to just focus on technique with your upper body. When it's flat calm like this, it's ideal, and it's an ideal opportunity just to stretch out and just to feel the water. Taking the pressure out of swimming is a huge deal. So give yourself the opportunity to just swim for 5 strokes, stop, stand up if you can, and take your breath, have a look around you and start again. So taking the pressure off by saying, right, I'm going to swim from here over to the White House over there on the hill. Putting a performance pressure on yourself doesn't help when you're nervous in the water. So allowing yourself the opportunity to just go for a few strokes, stop when you need to, and restart is a wonderful way of slowly building up your confidence in the water and building up your trust in yourself. So I'm going to go and finish my swim. It's about 400 meters back over to the jetty. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Just a few small tips to allow you to get used to swimming in the open water. Take performance out of it. Don't put pressure on yourself to perform this massive feat of swimming a huge lap. If you're 2K fit in the pool, don't automatically assume it's going to be easy for you to do 2Ks in the open water. Give yourself a chance. It's a very, very different swimming environment. Give yourself a chance to get used to it. Give yourself a chance to become confident with it. And the last thing I'm going to say to you is, when the water is as clear as this is, and you can see my legs with the camera here now, if the water is as clear as it is now, you're going to see things like fish, crabs, certainly in an environment like this, maybe a few jellyfish. Don't panic if you do. If you need to stop your stroke and sit up and relax, do it. But don't go into a big panic about what you're seeing in the water. Stay in the shallows, look at seaweed, and if it freaks you out, pick a little bit up in your hand, feel it, understand what it is, get a sensation of it, and don't create a story about what's in it, what's underneath it, what it feels like, what if it touches my leg. If you're afraid of it touching your leg, stop and stand up in it. See what it feels like when it touches your feet. Just experience it and just relax into the environment you're in. The more you relax, the better your swimming is going to be, I promise you. I hope you found these tips useful on getting into the open water and swimming. Remember, it's all about desensitization and just enjoying yourself.